Can you hear me? You know what sucks about you Gen Zers trying to do interviews? Every person I go up to, they think I'm gonna ask English or Spanish, but then they walk away from me. What's up, nerds? We're back day 3 and the final day of our PAX coverage on noisypixel.net. Thank you so much for going on this journey with us and watching all the videos from the previous 2 days. Please be sure to let us know in the comments what you enjoyed and what you like, because we enjoy doing these videos and your support is what fuels everything that's going on here. So thank you so much for watching the previous 2 days, and let's just go to day 3! As you can tell, the energy is not the same as it was the other days. My voice is kind of gone. Woo! So bad. What's up, nerds? We're back here, PAX West 2024, here with Bandai Namco, looking at Sword Art Online Fractured Daydream. And Savannah, tell us about this new adventure.
Yeah, so this is the first Sword Art Online game that's multiplayer focused. It's really, focused on co-op. We are really demoing here one of the online co-op missions that you can play with your friends. And then one thing that we really want to push in our upcoming open network test is the online raid, which you can play with up to 20 players across all platforms. So PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, and Nintendo Switch.
Is online the most exciting aspect of this new adventure? But also, I feel like the developer, Dimps, how has it been like having them again with their hands in the Sword Art Online formula? How has it been watching them create this new adventure?
Yeah, pretty exciting for sure. We know that those SAO gamers really trust Dimps to deliver, especially because they are the developers of Sword Art Online Fatal Bullets, which you all know was the most successful SAO game to date so far. But we really have high hopes on this one, kind of taking that title away from them. So looking forward to it.
There's an upcoming network test beta that you guys have planned. What are your hopes from that, coming out of that? What's the feedback that you're expecting from players, and what are you looking forward to?
Yeah, so the online open network test is going to NA region from September 20th to September 22nd, and there we're really hoping players will help us, test the network, test the cross-platform playability, and just really show players that they can have a great time with players no matter what platform they're on. So even if their friends are Switch players and but they're console players, you can still have a great time. And also just check out the 2 raid bosses that we have in the open network test.
What's your personal favorite aspect of this game that you like sharing with people?
I always bring up how fun it is to play Fukuzero. She's Len's best friend, she's Len's co-pilot, and she's the grenadier in here, and it's just really fun to play with someone who, Sword Art Online is obviously based on swords with Kirito and Asuna. They're great, but Fukuzero and Len, they've got P-chan, they've got their shooters. It's just a lot of fun. Sinon's in here as well, so.
Do we have a release date? Where are we coming out?
Yeah, so the game's coming out on October 4th, so real soon, just right around the corner.
Cool. Well, we'll definitely be covering it on Noisy Pixels, so be on the lookout for that. What's up, nerds? We're back, PAX West 2024, here with Vincent Adinolfi for his game Heartworm. Dread XP is publishing, but you're here at PAX. How's your experience been so far?
It's been really cool. We have this new demo kind of to show off, and we've had a lot of people give us some really good feedback, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about Heartworm. What's the inspirations? When did it start development?
Yeah, so I started Heartworm about 4 years ago, just by myself as a hobby. I was doing it for fun, and it kind of just like escalated. And then last year I signed on with Dread, and it's been like a real thing, my full-time thing ever since. And yeah, it's a survival horror game, obviously wearing its inspirations on the sleeve, Silent Hill, Resident Evil, and use a camera as your weapon, so there's some Fatal Frame mixed in there. We're trying to take, the classic formula, but make some modern upgrades to it, and hopefully have a unique identity of its own by the end of it.
What do you think it is about this kind of era that we're in, where gamers are pretty hungry for these PS1 era, like Polygon-esque world? What do you think brought that back, and how are you finding developing a game in this style?
Nostalgia is part of it. I grew up playing those games, a lot of people did, and now like we're hitting that cycle where we're like, oh, I miss those games, But at the same time, I think there's like a sensation of like burnout on hyperrealism, or even not even hyperrealism, but just like the push for like realism in so many like horror titles, like the PT clones and all that. Like they're cool, they're scary, but there's some like almost like intangible quality to this like aesthetic where it's more scary sometimes because your imagination fills in all the gaps, you know, and not everything is like explicitly shown to you. You know, you don't see all the boils on every enemy's like, you know, skin or whatever, and you have to kind of like see these like messes of polygons, and it like brings you back to a point in life where maybe you were more terrified. So yeah, I don't know, I think it just lends itself really well to getting into people's heads. So
I agree. It's like your imagination does the rest of the work for where the polygons lack. And I want to talk about Heartworm and just the character, and tell us the setting, like fill us in on that.
Quick rundown basically on the character is it's a girl named Sam. She is grieving the loss of some loved ones, and you know, she's really struggling through that. And she reads a message board online, kind of like a paranormal message board, people talking about this house that can somehow like connect you to people you've lost. And she goes there, and then things kind of spiral out of control. It's not quite what she expected. And yeah, and the setting is, a lot of it is based on like her experiences. So there's suburbia in kind of like a surreal way, and then, you know, that's what the demo focuses on, but there are also a bunch of other areas that we have in the works right now that are a little more exciting. There's like a clock tower sequence, there's an outdoor area. It's like totally like bright, like, and I'm trying to do like, you know, I feel like a lot of horror doesn't go into bright areas. It's always dark, so I'm trying to do something there. And yeah, just trying to, you know, switch things up a bit from the like haunted mansions and you know, whatever. So
with that, when can viewers and readers seeing this game for the first time, what can we expect for the future?
Yeah, so this PAX demo is just here. There is an old demo on Steam, but next Fest in October, there's going to be a new demo, a lot more in line with what we've been working on, so definitely look out for that. And then we're going to finish development in December, and the game is going to be out Q1 2025. So
awesome. We'll definitely be looking out for Heartworm on noisypixel.net, so look out for our coverage, because I'm definitely going to be covering this game. It's a good one.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, really appreciate it. And how could we forget? I know it's day 3, and you haven't seen much of him, but he's here. Michael.
Hello.
Go. What's up, nerds? We're back, PAX West 2024, here with Way Forward, looking at their upcoming game, Clock Tower Rewind. You might remember this man for slapping me in the previous episode. Roll the clip.
Mario flip.
Yeah, the GIF, the money rain GIF.
Wow, look at it happening. Oh, son of a...
Thank you for your time, Bannon.
You're welcome.
We appreciate it.
Should I slap you?
Yeah.
What a clip we just watched. Wow.
Those are good times.
Yeah.
Well, now we're here in the present talking about Clock Tower.
Clock Tower Rewind.
Oh,
but we are talking about Clock Tower, one of the most confusing games to talk about here. So a lot of people are coming to the booth and they're like, wow, I played that game back in the day. I was like, no, you didn't. You actually didn't, unless you were one of those devious people that did a ROM and emulator. We don't like those people.
No, we don't.
I have a lot of ROMs and emulators. So anyway, Clock Tower, this one here is a version that never made it to the States. So this came out 94, 95 as... I have to even bust out the talking points because this gets so confusing. So a lot of people that played this, they actually played what is considered in Japan Part 2. So here we go. I have to always bust these out because I will mess it up. Here we go. Yes. I'm losing my voice too.
It's the specifics here. Very specific.
Pacific.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Plus, it had to go over the Pacific Ocean to get here. So here we go. Hey, Wait, didn't Clock Tower come out on PlayStation 1 in North America? No, foolish Azario, it did not. The game release as Clock Tower for PlayStation 1 in North America was actually Clock Tower 2 in Japan. The game released as Clock Tower 2 for PlayStation 1 in North America was actually Clock Tower Ghost Head in Japan. It's sort of the Final Fantasy situation with different numbering in different territories. In Japan, a PlayStation version of the original Super Famicom Clock Tower was released as Clock Tower The First Fear, but like the Super Famicom game, the PlayStation version never saw release worldwide. It's absolute nonsense.
I will say, when I heard Clock Tower was getting remastered, I too was thinking that the can't be Clock Tower 2 that we got as Clock Tower in the West.
Yeah, it's so some people, they have played this before, but it's like you actually played part 2. It just got released here as part 1.
Yeah, you get it right.
And I fight them, and then I chase them with giant scissors, and they're like, I'm gonna call the cops. I'm like, no, you're not.
So talk about this game. It's a point-and-click adventure. How is that and translate to like modern gameplay mechanics? How have you guys brought this game back to modern audiences while letting it retain its retro roots?
We put like cool stuff in it.
Lots of hidden secrets and galleries.
It's what we do have galleries. Muriel Cartwright would be considered like the director of this version of the game, but she did the start over here, and then she did the animated opening intro. So it's kind of similar to the game series that I work on, River City Girls. We did River City Girls 0, which I will butcher the name of it, but it's Kunio-kun Neketsu Tachi no Banka. That was only released in Japan on the Super Famicom, but that's what we based Masako and Kyoko off of. So we did a Port Plus being like, hey, here's new stuff, artwork, like bug fixes, all that stuff, translation. So that was called a Port Plus. That did really well, so we did it with Clock Tower. A lot of people at Way Forward, like the directors, are all obsessed with Clock Tower. So this is, the gameplay, I would say, is the closest, like, it's almost like the grandfather or grandmother, because it's a lady, of Alien Isolation, Friday the 13th, the game. It's like, you're underpowered, and that's what makes it fun. When you see a little scissor man.
It's definitely a game that when you're playing it, it doesn't make sense, and then you die a couple times, and then it starts like, Well,
now, if you do die a couple times, we have, I'm just gonna move this, just to get gameplay going. We do have a feature where...
That's where it got the rewind.
Yes. So if you did die, and this game's hard to figure out because it's like, oh, I just died. Back in the day, that would be annoying. Stop, reset, load up the save. You just rewind.
Yeah. When can players expect to play Clock Tower Rewind?
So Sunsoft officially said in Japan, October 31st. Hopefully we're shooting for that time. We're not giving an exact date, but we'll say fall.
Nice. Well, we're definitely going to be covering it because I love this series. I've never played this one because I'm a good boy.
You're a very good boy.
Thank you. And thank you for watching. What's up, nerds? We're back at PAX West 2024 here looking at Rugrats Adventures in Gameland. And I know that we've covered this game before in the past, but we are so close to launch right now. So let's get an update. And we have Thomas here, lead developer.
Lead developer, yeah.
Oh, how's it going? What's the energy like?
Really pumped. It's really exciting that we're finally getting this out. So the game is launching on all platforms September 10th.
When you're bringing the game to this show, what's their feedback like to you when players get their hands on this game?
I feel like the feedback's been great. Like, everybody's been playing it. Like, people are loving the game. Just the nostalgic vibes, both like the HD mode's being played right now, and also having that 8-bit mode in the game. It's kind of that double hit of nostalgia with a property like Rugrats.
Do you guys have a counter on the percentage of which mode players play more?
It's been pretty good split. I think most people are playing it in the HD because that's kind of what we're defaulting to in the demo. There's been a lot of people, when they find out that you can do that 8-bit version, that they're really excited about that as well.
And now that you're leading up to launch, what are plans post-launch? What are you looking forward to? Do we have more Rugrats in store?
We've definitely got some stuff. It's a little early for me to say. I think the partnership with Nickelodeon for this game has gone really well. We can definitely see more of that in the future.
What excites you about games like this and platformers like this?
For me personally, this is what I grew up with, and the rest of the team too. It's the kind of stuff we grew up with. It's the cartoons that we were watching, the style of games that we were playing, and just being able to mesh that kind of stuff together, like make some cool You don't see a whole lot necessarily of like, you know, those licensed 2D platformers in the vein of like, you know, the DuckTales and Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers and stuff that used to come out back when I was a kid. You know, bringing that back in a cool, tangible way, it's kind of a dream come true.
I'm kind of curious, is your position in developing games like this, would you think that you could do it no other way? Like, it's just exciting to see developers being able to create titles of this caliber and see a large response where maybe 5 years ago we would have written this off.
Yeah, it's really cool because it's almost like for us, the Mixed Games were a small indie studio. Wallride, our partners for the development, you know, they're an indie as well, and it was done with a lot of love. So it's like we're doing this as a fan game almost, except we are blessed with the license to be able to make it official. And I think that's kind of the spirit that we had behind it the whole way.
Well, we'll definitely be looking out for the launch of Rugrats Adventure in Gameland September 10th. It's probably out by the time you're watching this, so check out the coverage on noisypixel.net. What's up, nerds? We're back at PAX West 2024. Here, day 3, looking at Yars Rising with Way Forward.
That's right.
Yeah, this is an old title that launched on Atari, I believe.
Well, it's based on an old title from 1982, in fact. The original game was Yars Revenge, and it was a classic for the Atari 2600. It was actually the best-selling first-party title. And so many years later, we're revisiting the world of Yars Revenge with something completely new.
How is Way Forward spin? You guys are known for Shantae, I don't know, colorful and wonderful, like charming games. How has that been bringing your specific flair, that Way Forward flair, to this IP?
Well, I can definitely say if you enjoy Shantae games, I've worked on many of those historically, I'm directing this, you'll find a little bit of that Shantae DNA in this game, so I think you'll like it a lot if you like that kind of game. But even if you're just an old school Atari player that grew up playing Yars Revenge, maybe you don't even know what Yars Revenge is, I definitely say check this out. You'll find it definitely has that Way Forward flair, as you put it.
The original Yars Revenge launched on Atari. I think watching someone play that game requires someone else explaining to the person what's going on screen.
Right.
Yet you guys somehow found a way to bring that into this title in a modern sense. How is that kind of bringing in like old video game tech and then bringing it into this modern world, but still very looking like an Atari game?
Sure. So in this game, you play as this hacker named Emi Kimura, and it's sort of an exploration action game. But her power is any computer she encounters, any computer terminal, I should say, she's able to hack it. And the interface for hacking is a recreation and I would say like a deconstruction of the original 1982 Yars Revenge game. And so that game just on its own, it can be very esoteric, you could say. If you pick it up just as is without any instruction, perhaps you might be a little lost, it could be a little confusing. So something that we had to do is think about, for someone picking this up for the first time, how can we sort of drip feed that? And so we deconstructed the game and took individual elements of it. And what we do is, through the course of repeated hacking, gradually teach the player the original rules of Yars Revenge. And then ultimately, we take it a step further and we remix it in new and different ways. And there's actually over 100 different ways we just take the original concept as a foundation and try something interesting and different and just do cool stuff with it.
Who would you say is the target audience for this? Is it challenging? What are the options here for modern players? Or what's the depth, the ceiling here?
Well, we try to make our games accessible for as many players as possible. And I think with this game, it really is. So I think gamers of all sorts, whether you're an old school Atari fan that grew up playing the Atari 2600, you know Yars Revenge like the back of your hand, you'll be right at home. If you've never heard of Yars Revenge, but you love Way Forward games, you're gonna have a great time with this. And if you're just a gamer looking for a really fun, different, fresh experience, I think you'll find it in Yars Rising.
And when can we see Yars Rising? When can players get their hands on it?
The game is out September 10th, so go pick it up on PC and all major consoles.
Let's go. And we're definitely excited about this game, so be sure to check out noisypixel.net for more coverage. Thank you so much. There's another side of PAX, and that happens to be lines. But also lines for video games that might have already been out. Let's go check on what people are waiting in lines for Baldur's Gate 3. Excuse me, Guys, yes. What are you currently waiting in line for?
Larian Studios, lining up to get the merch.
What are you trying to get? What are you trying to comp?
The dice. I need the dice.
What's so special about the dice?
You know, associated with Baldur's Gate, I really enjoy the game. I play Magic, so it'll be nice to get a set of dice and make them go together. The collaboration with the developers is pretty cool.
And what about you? What did you come to PAX West for?
This art specifically.
Spend money to buy dice. Real gamers. We're just doing like stupid B-roll.
That's okay.
It'll probably show. Noisy Pixel. What's up, nerds? We're back here at PAX West 2024, here with a very special guest. Publisher XSeed Studios is here.
How's it going? How's it going?
How has your event been? How's it going over here?
It's going great. You know, we're super busy with Rune Factory Guardians of Azima just being announced right before the show, and you know, we've got a little great Earth Dancer experience here for everyone, and a ton of indie games, which we know PAX loves.
How has the reception been since that announcement? How's the energy been at XSeed? How have you guys been kind of handling the fan reaction?
Well, handling it great. I mean, everybody seems really jazzed about it. You know, fresh new take, fresh new characters, going to the Eastern lands for the first time, and there's a lot of excitement from everybody to the trailer and the announcement and the direct. Obviously here we just have a little interactive experience, but in the coming months we'll be sharing a lot more and eager to show people just how much there is to really look forward to.
Now, XSeed brought some other games to the show today too. What other titles are coming out that fans should look out for?
Well, how can I list all of them in a quick way? No, we have a lot of good stuff here. Specifically coming out this year, you know, we have Potionomics Masterwork Edition, which is coming to consoles and adding voiceover and some great new features.
On that game, I will say on PC, there's a resounding amount of positive reviews of Potionomics. It is a game that is definitely on my radar and one that just stands out as just this animated like greatness. It's an indie publisher or an indie developer, but you guys kind of took it on as a third-party publisher. What kind of titles like that stand out to XSeed when you're looking for titles to publish?
Oh, wow. That's such a complicated question. It's so easy to say things that we like. There's a lot that goes into it, right? Like, we still like games that have our vibe that we have from the Marvelous side, which is, you know, cozy things. We want to keep that through line. There's a lot of great indie teams that we're working with. You know, we have Voracious for Potionomics, we have Filet Group for The Big Catch, which is a completely different experience, right? An action platformer, retro styled, really fun. You know, working with our sister company Marvelous Europe for a dungeon crawling roguelite like Cuisinier, but they all have that same, they're very cute and they're very aesthetically appealing. And then ultimately, you know, things that we at the company like, right? Like, we'll take a look at everything internally and be like, yeah, you know what? I want to play this, and then if we want to play it, we think other people want to play it too.
I think a lot of our readers are also excited about the release of, is it Slitterhead?
Slitterhead, yeah.
Can we explain a little bit about this game and kind of the background behind that title?
I mean, we could explain a little bit. So that's from Boca Game Studio, from Toyama-san, who obviously I'm sure a lot of people know from Siren, Silent Hill, some very, very, very good games. And, you know, this is a new attempt on next gen to kind of bring his style and vibes to the horror genre. So we were very fortunate to be able to work with them on bringing the PlayStation 5 physical release to the States.
When can players expect that game? Does that have a release date? Or
that'll be out November 8th.
Oh, okay. I feel like more horror needs to be packed in the fall. We're not getting that anymore. There was like one October a couple years ago where we got no horror games, so I'm definitely happy to see it filling out with games like this.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you know, Slitterhead. We also have Corpse Party 2, Darkness Distortion, which I know fans have been eager to see that series continue, which is also targeting fall 2024. So looking forward to that.
That game's a little more ambitious in its design, where fans may know Corpse Party from the RPG Maker series, but there's some 3D elements here. How has that been, seeing players kind of get reintroduced into Corpse Party and be like, whoa, this is way different from what I remember when I first played it years ago?
Yeah, no, I think people are into it just because, you know, it has been a number of years. The genre and our capabilities have progressed significantly to present, you know, this title in a 3D way, and you know, there's a lot of cool characters and it feels a little bit more modern and updated, and you know, we're excited for people to experience the story. It's still that same great story, a lot of that great visual novel aspect, but just in a new way.
I don't want to be overly excited, but Ys has returned to XSeed. All right, I said it. Explain what's going on with these and what you guys are bringing these to a new platform, or?
Yeah, so E's Memoir, The Oath and Felghana, which, a lot of people love that game originally, the previous, just The Oath and Felghana, right? We'll be bringing that to Switch and PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, updating it, giving Adol a little bit more to say, so to speak. We have a very nice LE for that, because we know everybody loves our XSeed and Marvelous LEs. Great little demo here for everybody to try out, show off the different art styles and how it plays and feels on Switch.
And as we look forward to the future, what can we expect from XSeed and just as a publisher? We're nearing the end of 2024, looking into 2025. What can fans expect?
A lot more of that great Marvelous goodness, right? Obviously, we have Guardians of Ozma coming out. You may have seen in the Marvelous Game Showcase some of the updates that we have coming to Story of Seasons, and we'll have more to update on Daemon X Machina. Some of the stuff that we have here, of course, we'll continue to support Moonlight Peaks, which I know is a little bit further down the line in 2026. But we also have The Big Catch, that awesome action indie platformer coming in 2025 that we're super stoked for.
Well, we're definitely really excited, and we'll be covering all of these titles on noisypixel.net. Thank you. What's up, nerds? We're back, PAX West 2024, here with a familiar face. We have Kamikaze Lassplanes, and with us the writer on the project, Patricia, here to talk about the game. It's out now.
Yeah.
How are you? How has it been?
Very happy that the game is finally out. Very proud because we spent 2 years of our life and it's a big passion project. Because when we first started, it wasn't our job, so we just started working on it, and I can't believe it's actually out. Yeah.
Since you've been bringing it to these events, how have you seen the audience kind of receive it, and how has that been for you?
When you say, oh, these girls turn into airplanes, and you romance them, there's always this pause, like a second pause, so it's definitely unique, I think, and I'm loving that, especially on American events. People are really loving the shoot 'em up and the mix, and they really think it's unique. So I think the reception is very good.
Tell us about that. Was it fun to develop a game with heavy visual novel styles and then just totally relieve the player of reading and just put them in a shmup? How is that designing it and seeing players enjoy that?
I loved having the possibility to do the shoot 'em up because I love action visual novels. I love action, writing action. But it's often, for me, it's hard to portray the action with just images and text. So I really love that you can actually go inside, a warplane and pilot it, and you can feel the battle a little bit. So I thought it was very, very great vessel for the action of the visual novel.
Can you tell us a little bit about what inspired this this whole project? What came about? How did it even start?
Honestly, I don't have a very inspirational story. My fiancé, who also works on the project with me, a few years ago, he just approached me very randomly and said, hey, what if we made a game about girls that turn into airplanes? And I was like, well, nah.
And then here we are at launch. What are we looking forward to in the future? Are we anticipating updates? Are we waiting to see what the launch is like?
We're definitely coming to Switch, so that's the big update. We are also going to launch in Asia.
Okay.
We are looking forward to a physical release also, but I don't have any concrete dates right now to share with you. But yeah, we do want to keep developing the game, and if the game has a very warm welcome, then perhaps even a sequel in the future.
I'll take a fan disc of Alba any day. When can fans expect the Switch release to come out?
Hopefully this year.
Okay, yeah. Good luck on that, because I know Nintendo fans are hungry for these types of games.
And we, since the very beginning, we aimed for releasing on Switch. So that was the goal with designing the game. We always had Switch in mind. So we think that a lot of people will be very happy, especially since there aren't a lot of visual novels on Switch, not as much as on Steam, of course.
Yeah, so, we're definitely be covering the Switch release, and we'll be covering this release, so check it out on noisypixel.net, and let us know what you think about Kamikaze Lassplanes in the comments below. What's up, nerds, and welcome back to PAX West 2024. We have a fun family, Overcooked style, party game, with, really cool.
I would call it Overcooked twist, yeah, because Barber Party is our new game, a new party game, which has this indie premium approach. I mean, we spend a lot of time not only on the gameplay development, but also on the visuals. This is a game for up to 4 players, playing together locally and in online, and also on Switch and Steam at the same time in a crossplay.
Oh wow!
And we are also mixing local multiplayer with online multiplayer. So it might be a really wrong introduction, then this is way too long, but basically speaking, this is a game about throwing your customers and throwing scissors in a barber shop, that's the right English name. It might look very similar to Overcooked for some of you, but we added a lot of twists to it. There are customers walking around the saloon. You can grab them, throw to their places. There are some quick time events unique for each item in the saloon, and each client has also a list of things you have to do with him. So this is kind of similar to the dishes, but at the same time we analyzed a lot other party games and what we love about them and what we don't like about them, and we try to eliminate these things which we don't like about them. For example, we are not splitting the saloon artificially into 2 zones which don't allow you to help your friend who is somewhere else. We have, for example, buttons which let you open a gate, and if you stand on a button, one character can help another one.
How chaotic can it get?
It can get very chaotic when you're playing with 4 players because the number of customers is increasing.
And what's the setting like? Where's the characters? Who are the? What are they trying to do?
It's a little bit like Animal Crossing. So it reminds the real world. It makes fun of some pop culture themes, but at the same time we have characters who are sheep or dogs or cats or owls. So it is playing with this cartoonish setting, which can be very appealing for Nintendo game fans. We are also Nintendo game lovers. We love Animal Crossing. We also love Overcooked, of course.
Yeah.
So
how has it been showing the game at PAX? How has the players been? What's the energy been like?
Players return to us after playing this game to play once again. So I think this is the best review we can get because families come here, children are playing, also couples are playing here. So it is the goal we wanted to achieve, to make this game good for every kind of players. We have a lot of systems which help younger players or more casual players to find out how to play this game. This is also the first time we are showing the game. This is a debut for the game. We are collecting the feedback from the players, so we also will improve the game shortly after the show. The game will be released in next year, so it still needs some time. The demo we are showing here, and which is also available online. I don't know where this video would appear, so it was available online. Something like a vertical slice for the game. It shows all of the gameplay mechanics we want to have in it, the visual art style, and now we are doing the thing which is called the horizontal development. So we are creating new levels, new biomes, some additional mechanics to make it even funnier.
So when can players expect a new update? When are we going to hear a new trailer? Or
the first thing we want to do is to analyze all of the data we collected here, and then we'll schedule a plan. We plan to release the game in the second part of next year, so there's still some time for it.
Yeah.
We are looking for...
Let it cook.
Yes, exactly. We would like to publish it both on the Switch and the Switch successor when it will show up.
Oh yeah, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? But yeah, this is one of our goals, and we also want to make this game later for PlayStation and Xbox.
Awesome.
So
well, we'll definitely be covering it on noisypixel.net, and thank you so much. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I just need you to be in line with him because you're in the background. You're too blurry.
What's going on, nerds? Mark here from behind the camera, and thank you so much for making it to day 3 of our PAX West content. We do this every time we go to PAX, and we hope you love the content, or else, we really wouldn't do it, but it seems like everyone gets a kick out of it. So once again, don't forget to subscribe, follow us on all platforms, and one last time, thank you so much for interacting and being a part of the Noisy Pixel community. We couldn't really do this without you, and here's to a few more interviews, some PAX content, and some more Noisy Pixel fun on the way. Thank you, everyone.
Is it Batman?
What's up, nerds? We're back at PAX West 2024. Finally, everybody, finally. You don't understand. Every interview, everything, we open up with that. No one ever reacts to it, and thank you. No other than
Yo, I was around when nerding was not cool, bro. Like, especially, black nerd in the 90s.
No, here we are with Shueisha Games at PAX West 2024 talking about Urban Myth Dissociation Center?
Dissolution
Center! Urban Myth Dissolution Center. A game that...
We can change the name for you.
No, I will tell you that I like the Japanese logo without the localization,
yeah.
But you guys did a great job in the localization logo. So
it does. It looks very similar.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it's got. I think Hakano Bunko is the name of the developers for this. They're like based in Western Japan. I think in Kyoto and Osaka, kind of Bid Summit area. It translates to like graveyard culture is like the kind of the loose translation of their name, and they make spooky games like this, and their artists are like, I think, really dope. They've chose this really limited color palette for this game, and the only things that really want to draw your attention to something, you see these splashes of red and like these really visceral colors. So
tell us a little bit about this game. It's a narrative adventure. What are we working on?
Yeah, I kind of jumped ahead of myself. It's a narrative adventure type game in the same vein of maybe Professor Layton with some puzzle elements, or Phoenix Wright, where you're just like trying to figure out, you're investigating the case. I think the easiest way to understand it is like Phoenix Wright meets Scooby-Doo.
With the marriage of those elements, how is this game coming in, and how is players picking up? How are they responding to those elements?
I think people like we just said, or people are drawn to like the art, and it kind of just brings them into the story. The story is about this girl that goes to start to work. Azami is her name. She goes to work at this Dissolution Center, and their job as an agency is to break down all of these like urban myths to make sure they're real or not. And the director kind of unlocks some of your latent psychic abilities to help you with the cases. So you're using a mixture of traditional investigation through talking to people, and also kind of psychic investigation with your special glasses to look at different things. Yeah, you dig into each myth. Is it real? Is it fake? Is this like a real ghost? Or and that's where I get into the Scooby-Doo thing, because everyone thinks this is really real until they, like, at the end they throw the mask off and it's like, Professor Jenkins,
When is the game coming out?
We just announced the release date. It's February of next year. We were lucky enough to be in Nintendo's Indie World where we had the announcement. So yeah, we're polishing up. We're gonna launch with like 10 or 12 languages, so everyone is gonna be able to play at the same time. Yeah, we're looking forward to it, man.
And we're looking forward to covering it because we know that Noisy Pixel readers and viewers just love these narrative adventure games, and we're so glad that we get to present them for you here today. Thank you. What's up, nerds? We're back at PAX West 2024 talking with Railgun Games on their title Deathland Drifters. Tell us a little bit about this game and kind of how showing it been here at PAX West.
All right, so Deathland Drifters is a cooperative action roguelike for 1 to 6 players where you and your friends pilot a hover ship together, fighting space pirates, scavenging ship parts in order to get stronger, and eventually trying to escape the planet. So it's been a good time at PAX.
Yeah, it's so many words in one. Like, you said a lot. Like, what is this game? We're like,
cooperative hover ship pirates.
Easy, rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
And how has it been seeing, like I said, players playing this title?
People seem to be actually really enjoying it. I think part of it is that when you have the group all together and you get people like with the 4 stack on all 4 computers and just like doing call outs and having a good time, that always like people just have fun that way.
So tell us a little bit about the settings. What's the genre?
So Deathland Drifters takes place on a fallen colony world. It was originally a once thriving metropolis planet full of natural resources that were being gathered and sent off world, that's all collapsed. It's all fallen apart. And now you and your friends have to take your one chance at escape. There's a crashed ship on the other side of the planet and you're trying to get there. Of course, you're gonna have to fight a bunch of pirates and bandits and alien monsters in order to escape.
How do players do that in terms of equipment and systems? We got racing, so there's racing elements, so how does that all work?
So all the players are together on a hover ship, which we've been kind of calling a drifter.
Cute.
Hence the Deathland Drifters. But you're all together on a hover ship. This hover ship has turrets, it's got guns, it's got shields, it's got like different tools which you can use to survive. Each ship, we're planning to have a bunch of different ship options. Each ship has a unique set of abilities and weapons which all play a little differently because Deathland Drifters is a roguelike. So by having different ship options which all play differently and all have different play styles, we give a lot more variety to each run.
How are you seeing players approach that roguelike style here? Are you seeing them do something and you're like, oh, I've never seen someone get any surprises here showing it and watching people play?
They play it way differently every single time, which is not what I expected. I guess we were used to people beelining for the objective and then like finishing it off. Some people take their time, they want to explore the map, they want to look in different areas and loot everything they can. In fact, they get so strong that the boss actually becomes trivial at the end. They upgrade their guns to the max, they have so much like loot and upgrades on their ship that they go over there and they absolutely shred the fortress and shred the boss super easily. And sometimes other people, they go in and they're like really fighting by the seat of their pants, they're really like having to coordinate and work hard because their ship is completely unupgraded. They have nothing at all, and they're just going in completely like raw, I guess.
And when can players expect to play this game or get their hands on it? What are your future plans?
So we're planning to have a February 2025 free demo of the game with probably at least like 2 levels, 2 ships to play with. We want to do early access in summer of 2025, and then for a 1.0 release, it'll be sometime later than that. But general public, you'll be playing it summer 2025.
It stuck out to us at this show, so let us know what you think about Deathland Drifters in the comments below. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you for talking to me.
What's up, nerds? Back at PAX West 2024, here with Akamotive, looking at their newly revealed game, Herdling. Hey, tell us a little bit about I'm sorry, this is Fabio from the studio. Please tell us a little bit about the game and how your PAX experiences has been.
So far, PAX has been great. Herdling is a herding adventure about a little girl that finds a mystical creature in the city she lives in, and she goes on an adventure to bring this creature and other creatures she finds along the way home.
Tell us about the inspirations behind the story. Why is this a story that you feel that gamers should experience? Why do you feel like you need to tell it?
For us, like, Herdling is really about like human-animal like bonding and interaction, and really about like the relationships you can have with animals you work and live with, and like shepherding in general, but also like Sami people, for example, and their symbiotic relationship with like reindeer, for example, were like really important inspirations for us and the story you wanted to tell.
It's giving like The Last Guardian and a human and a creature bonding moment. How are those emotional moments depicted in the game in terms of interacting with your creature friends?
It's actually a great question. Like, there's always like an important moment where you get to know the creature in the first place. So you will find roughly like 15 creatures during a regular playthrough. Each of those creatures is like has a problem or is stuck or is lost, got lost somehow along the way, and has its own unique personality, and you have to figure out how like you can approach it to like form like a relationship in the first place at all. And I think that's really helping to create that bond. But it's also just the joy of moving with your herd that creates a lot of positive like bonding moments.
How was the energy at the development studio after you revealed the game at Gamescom 2024? How has it been? And now we're almost 2 to 3 weeks past. Is that fire still burning? Is the engine still racing on? Is Akamotive the locomotive that we thought it was going to be? Is everything still going good? How's the energy?
It's amazing. We were really like excited to finally be able to show it in the trailer, but especially now, like getting to see players play the game is amazing, and it's being received so well, and everybody seems to be really excited. It's just amazing to see.
Is it relieving to see people actually enjoying it? Because you sit with something for so long, and now you finally get the chance to like share that. How has that been for you?
We've certainly have been a little bit anxious before we got to see people play it, because we like the gameplay is very unique, right? There's not a lot of other, or I'm not aware of other games that have like comparable gameplay to ours. So we weren't sure whether like it would be received well by a wider audience, but it's been amazing to see that actually people really dig it.
Well, when can we expect more news? I know we just got the reveal, but what's the timeline looking like? When can players expect to hear an update?
The game is going to be released in 2025, and there's certainly going to be some major updates coming in the next couple of months.
Well, be sure to check out those updates on noisypixel.net, and thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time as well. Have a great PAX.
What's up, nerds? And that is a wrap on our PAX West 2024 coverage. Why didn't I reference a Sabrina Carpenter song at the beginning of this outro and did the other 2 times? Well, it's because I'm fucking burnt out. As you can hear in my voice, it's probably gone. Here's a little raspy, a little worn, tired, but I could not ask for a better year and a better team. Thank you so much for watching all of this content. I hope that we brought at least one game into your life that you didn't know about. So without you, this is probably nothing. Well, it is nothing, actually. That did answer my question. Thank you, everyone, for meeting with us, for hanging out with us, for putting up with our jokes. Here in reality, gamers are happy. If you're out there and you can't attend these events, maybe all alone, this is for you. You have a community waiting to support you. Now I'm gonna go take a nap, and later. We deserve high bar. High bar. Stuff,
So I decide that
And that's a wrap, nerds. Why didn't I reference Sabrina Carpenter in the and why didn't I reference Sabrina Carpenter? Thank you.
Noisy Pixel.